In a land far away, there lives a man with his beautiful family. His community would say this man is good, but what makes him good in their eyes? Wondering, is this judgment made from the unconditional love of this man, or is it because he has always acted in a socially accepted way? Right now, this man is fighting hard to focus on helping others as he works from home to ensure and protect the lifestyle his family is accustomed to and comfortable with. This is what his community socially accepts as being strong by continuing to work through it. And maybe he wants the distraction too. He is trying hard to focus on others while his own heart is breaking, holding on by a string that's slowly burning end to end, transforming physical fibers of that wick into unseen energy all around him. His heart aches because across the hall, his younger brother and best friend, aside from his wife, is dying painfully in lonely isolation. The authorities we respect maintain boundaries, working hard to protect this man's health and that of the community, so they're seen as good, the good for all. This man's brother dies before the eyes of a good doctor, who's also silently dying inside, loss after loss at a rate she has never seen, and she is powerless to stop or control it. She feels intense fear that scares her. This doctor honors her vow, loss after loss, showing up compassionate and caring. But for how long? She wants to start numbing herself so she won't feel the fear and anger anymore. Our doctor feels angry because she has no physical control over this little invader that's claiming for itself the lives of our loved ones so that it may feed and live, even if it's only for a short time. Wondering, if that little invader has a consciousness, does it judge good from bad? Or maybe it's an extension of consciousness that we don't fully comprehend. These are not the thoughts of the mourning man, nor of the doctor mourning. No, the mourning man is only focused on his own loss and pain. Our valiant doctor is lost within her own feelings of loss, a loss of who she believed herself to be in the world before all of the chaos. The construct of self she doesn't realize is 80% or more crafted by her community. Will she lose herself? Perhaps the shedding of the construct of who she was crafted to become must happen in order for the truest part of herself to be fully experienced. Perhaps the man in mourning after experiencing death sheds the image of who he believes he is and should be in order to fully embrace that magical life-giving center beating within his chest. Maybe none of this is good nor bad. Maybe it's a reaction to other actions accumulated over time. It just is. The mindful observer who asks these questions, and in doing so is reminded of the tremendous responsibility each human has to wield over free will, including the power of judging righteously and to maintain the boundaries of the self, which is ever evolving and to most remains elusive. Maybe we don't need to know definitively what happens to our loved ones when they return to the unseen world that we are so fascinated by. Trying to know and to judge, well, how much good has that ever really created in the world? The observer has experienced only suffering there. Life teaches us that true freedom and life everlasting exists within the thought that elusive, unseen world of ours presents. That world is never lost to us. We carry our own thoughts and share that of others in every sense of the being. And science has begun to prove this truth. So, the man mourning the loss of his brother, he hasn't really lost him, not in the whole sense. This loved one has returned to a form in a space his loved ones can honor, smile with, and continue to love no matter the time or distance. They can share the memory of the loved one and help him to live on indefinitely. It is then the perception we wield that can act as a sword, a shield, or a truly curious open door to experience fully this wondrous life we haven't tapped into yet. And I suspect we are starting to see that now. Much love, my Dynasty family, and may your hearts, souls, minds, and bodies be well and good in all aspects of being now, both now and indefinitely. Love, Shell, your champion.